You ever notice how some dates just seem to have something special going on? Well, we're going to dive into one of those weird cosmic coincidences today. We're talking about a single day in April that has given us this incredible range of talent, from old school Hollywood legends all the way to today's biggest global superstars.
Okay, that sounds like the beginning of a pretty great joke, right? But the real answer is that the stars who brought these characters to life, they all share the same birthday, April 18th. And when you look at their careers side by side, you get this amazing picture of how the whole idea of stardom has changed over the last 100 years or so.
So, let's kick things off way back in the golden era of Hollywood. We're going to meet two actresses who, even though they share a birthday, took completely different but totally unforgettable paths to the top. First up, we've got the wonderful Barbara Hale. She came up through the studio system in the 1940s and pretty quickly started sharing the screen with the absolute biggest names in the business. We're talking Frank Sinatra in Higher and Higher and the one and only James Stewart in The Jackpot. You know, this quote just nails it, because it perfectly sums up the role that would make her a legend. For 9 seasons, plus 30 TV movies, she was the brilliant, resourceful, and absolutely essential legal secretary Della Street on Perry Mason. And that role, it didn't just make her a household name. It won her a well-deserved Emmy back in 1959. Now, born on the exact same day, just 24 years later, you have Hayley Mills. She represents a totally different kind of stardom. I mean, as the daughter of the incredible actor Sir John Mills, she basically had acting in her DNA. She became one of the most beloved child stars of her time, literally growing up right in front of the camera. And check out this start. It was just meteoric. A BAFTA for her very first big role, and then a special Oscar for Pollyanna. She was a true phenomenon, starring in a whole bunch of those classic Disney films that, let's be honest, a lot of us grew up watching. She really defined family movies for an entire generation.
Okay, so as we move into the second half of the 20th century, the whole idea of what makes a star begins to change. We see this new type of actor emerge. Not the squeaky clean hero, but the intense, critically acclaimed maverick who brought this raw, new energy to the big screen.
And James Woods, he is the poster child for this archetype. Seriously, when you see his name on a movie poster, you know you are about to see something powerful, unforgettable, and usually wonderfully edgy. He built his entire career not on being the conventional good guy, but by digging into these deeply complex, sometimes really unsettling characters. Just think about his Oscar-nominated roles, or his work in classics like Casino and Once Upon a Time in America. That intensity is what made him one of the most respected character actors out there. Sharing that birthday and that reputation for intensity is Eric Roberts. But here's the twist. Where Woods was more selective, Roberts became one of the busiest actors, well, ever. He's got an unbelievable resume with over 700 screen credits to his name. Just think about that. And you gotta remember, early in his career, he was right up there as a critical favorite. His absolutely explosive performance in Runaway Train got him an Oscar nod. And with a couple of Golden Globe nominations, too, he proved he was a truly formidable talent from the get-go. All right, let's do a complete 180. We're moving away from all that gritty drama and into the world of comedy, with two geniuses who also share this birthday. But their careers took them on these wildly different but equally legendary paths. And what's so cool here is how they're just polar opposites. On one hand, you have this huge movie star who famously just walked away from it all. And on the other, you've got a brilliant writer who stepped out from behind the curtain and became a TV icon. I mean, Rick Moranis was just everywhere in the 1980s. Ghostbusters, Spaceballs, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. His face was a fixture in comedy. But then, in 1997, after his wife tragically passed away, he took a long break from acting to raise his kids. You know, that's just a rare and incredibly admirable thing to do in the world of Hollywood. Conan O'Brien's journey was pretty much the exact opposite. He got his start in those legendary writers' rooms for Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons, writing jokes for other people to say. But the moment he stepped in front of the camera, he found his calling, becoming one of the most beloved and longest-running late-night hosts in TV history. And that brings us right up to today, where the April 18th babies are true global talents. These are stars who dominate every platform you can think of: film, television, and even the stage. I mean, can you think of a better example of a modern, versatile star than the Scottish actor David Tennant? He's an actor that people all over the world just adore, not just for his incredible range, but for the pure joy he seems to have in every single role he takes on.
I mean, just look at this range. He can be the ultimate hero as the Doctor, a terrifying bad guy in Harry Potter, a smooth-talking demon in Good Omens, and a tortured detective in Broadchurch. That's the hallmark of a modern leading actor, that ability to be completely believable as anyone.
Just as versatile and just as impactful is America Ferrera. She is the total embodiment of the modern, multi-talented star. She first made waves as a trailblazer on TV and has since become this absolute powerhouse in film and so much more.
Her historic Emmy win for Ugly Betty was such a landmark moment. She was the first Latina ever to win in that category. But that was just the start. Since then, she's starred in hits like Superstore and the massive cultural event that was Barbie. And beyond that, she's using her platform as an author, an activist, and even a co-owner of a pro-women's soccer team. And representing the next generation of incredible talent born on this day is the brilliant English actress Vanessa Kirby. She's absolutely carrying on this April 18th tradition, already making a huge name for herself on both the big and small screens.
So when you kind of step back and look at all these careers together, it's pretty wild. You go from the really structured studio system that Barbara Hale started in all the way to the multi-platform global brand that is today's modern star. This one shared birthday really tells the story of how fame, acting, and Hollywood itself have completely changed. Man, that's a tough choice, with so much amazing and different talent to pick from. So I guess we've got to leave you with that question. From the classic icons to the modern game changers, which of these incredible April 18th stars is your absolute favorite?